Back over here on our fill-in clearing project, so it's too wet to work on the other project today. We got some more rain last night, so I'm gonna go over here and stir around and see which way the wind's blowing. I may set that burn pile on fire back there in the back, start getting some of that burnt down. As you can tell, everything that I power raked a couple weeks ago, the grass is starting to grow pretty good on it, and the brush is definitely dried out. So I'm gonna go over here to this pile of ashes, rake around, see what's gonna happen with that, and then probably go back there. Like I said, I got that big burn pile and then everything that Robert's cleared over there. I'd like to go ahead and start burning some of that to open up some more area. Well, I dug around in the pile over there and got some hot coals. I do have a lighter, but most of the time that normally catches back on fire. And some old go-go juice. So I'm gonna go over here to the edge of the pile. The wind should be blowing in that direction, even though it's blowing this way right now. So I'm gonna try to start the pile over here and get that burning down. It should burn relatively fast. This stuff is just small junk, but it's a lot of it. Well, I got the fire started. I think it's gonna go just fine and dandy. All right, let me keep grabbing some brush and throwing it on there. So I just went ahead and grabbed Barney here. I'm gonna clean up this old burn pile. And there's probably at least 2 dump truck loads of stuff here left, instead of sitting here walking one grapple full at the time all the way to the pile. I'm just gonna load it in the truck, take it down there and dump it. Faster and I won't stroke so much. Might be 3 dump truck loads. Fair amount of stuff here. Grab all this stuff, just get it sorted through and cleaned up. Some stuff right here, I got some a little dirty. Dump it out inside the pile over there and let it dry out a little bit. Throw a little bit in the pile here and there, and it tends to burn up okay. Go dump that and load the rest of this up. Stuff is, I'll have to kind of sort through that a little bit better. It's got some dirt and pine straw mixed into the bottom of it. Get the big stuff over there and put it in the pile so it can start burning up. It should, I think it's burning pretty good, but this stuff's pretty dry here. It'll really get it going. I think we'll fix that by raising the bed up so we don't lose a window and can turn. Last load of brush from the burn pile there. It's back over here. take it to the burn pile. I'm just going to transfer everything else. It's close enough I can do that, but just trying to move it from way up here was a little impractical, especially when you got a truck. Back up here, we'll dump this out, and then it's probably, can't even talk. Then it's probably time to stack the fire up again. Let's raise that bed up a little more. Oh, we're spinning. It's a little wet. That's burning pretty good right there, though. Gotta get back in the groove of driving Barney. It's a little different from Fred. Pretty much same layout, but trucks act different. Get in here and stack that up and throw all that mess on there and start transferring this stuff down. Get it burned up. Well, this fire is absolutely cooking now. Get that pushed in there, back up a little bit, let all the hot embers fly for a second. The wind was kind of blowing in that direction. Now it's kind of, you know how it works, never where you want it to go. But no, it's actually doing pretty decent. I'm happy. Trying to get this brush transferred back and thrown into the pile so I can get it gone. I have burnt a lot. There's still a big pile here. We still got probably another 3/4 of an acre to clear too, and then another 3/4 of an acre or acre up there, which that's some pretty big stuff. So I don't want to burn all my stuff up down here because I'm going to need it to burn that mess. But we were just getting a little overwhelmed with brush everywhere. And it was too wet to work anywhere else, so might as well take advantage of it and do a little burning. Robert's doing some errands for me, driving the dump truck. All the load of scrap metal to the junkyard, and went and got some pipe, and now he's getting fuel in the fuel trailer, and then he's going to meet me out here, and I'm going to let him clear the rest of the day here. I'm going to go over to the other job, kind of restack that fire, and then I've got to go get my wide load banners for the trailer. Had some George made me some plates that go on the ramps, so when we haul over wet stuff, I'm legal. And we'll just see how the day goes. I got another job to go look at. Got always something to do. There is no shortage of having something to do. It's just whether or not you want to do it or not. Ashes calm down a little bit, and I'm going to go around to the other side of the pile and restack it. I'll be upwind over there. Once this dies down, I can kind of finish grabbing that pile and bringing it over here. So see what it looks like over here. Fast as it's burning, you just kind of have to run around the pile and just keep shoving everything up there on it. This stuff It burns good, but it's still pretty green and wet in there, especially with all the rain we've had. So it just doesn't move through the pile. Like all this over here seems nice and dry, ready to burn, but it's just the fire will not spread through the pile. So you have to grab it and keep it thrown up on there. I don't know why some people don't understand that. Like, oh, you're always messing with the fire. I was like, well, you see how much I get burned too. Smoky now. That stuff was wet. Alright, I'm gonna let that catch up for a minute. I'm gonna leave Robert to it. He's gonna start clearing some more trees. And I'm gonna run to the other job site, restack the fire over there. Got a lot burnt here. We just got back from lunch and I stacked the fire up one more time. Was able to get all of this material on the fire and majority of that row right there. So it's burning down good. Told him to kind of stack that up one more time in about an hour and leave it alone, and that should pretty much burn down. That's going to leave us a lot of dry brush here to be able to start the next fire. Let it dry, let it dry. So back over here this afternoon, I'm going to restack that pile right there, get whatever stumps are left burning, and I don't know, I might jump on the dozer and try to blade over a little bit of this, or just wait till tomorrow and give it the rest of today to dry. We should be able to put the pond overflow in tomorrow and then kind of work our way back up the hill on getting that done. Well, I'm not gonna lie, that's a right pretty pile of ashes right there. I'm sure it's full of stumps. But I'm gonna take this rake and rake through it, repile everything right here, and that's gonna be the end of this. I'm pretty sure it's all stumps. I can rake it here and feel them. Get this stuff kind of sorted through again, and it'll catch back on fire and burn down, and we'll get all this mess cleaned up tomorrow. Might have to move the pile over a little bit farther. I feel like all my ashes are gonna spread out a little bit and cover all that up. I do know one thing, that stuff is hot in there. It won't take long for this to get back burning, I don't believe. So this is, like I've mentioned before, I love when I can burn in a pit, but this is the problem, and you end up with burning in a pit, is you end up with a lot of stuff in there that doesn't burn. And 9 out of 10 people don't really care, and will just cover it up and leave all that stuff, you know, unburnt in the ground, and eventually it's going to settle and cause some problems. Probably not anytime soon, but eventually the stuff that doesn't burn will kind of decay a little bit. Now, it's not by no means fast, but if you do, it seems like it will if it's in the ash, but if it's like mixed with dirt, like this stuff right here, even though there's a little bit of roots and mess in it, you pack it in there, I guess because it can't get air, it never really goes anywhere. So I don't know, ashes just always seem to settle if it's just pure ashes, probably because it's powdery dry, and once it gets some moisture in it, it settles down. The wind's still blowing in that direction before I get too crazy here. Cover myself in ashes. Considering all those, well, half of those stumps were dug up yesterday in the mud, it burnt down well. I've gotten pretty good at burning stuff. Is that one of those big logs left? Oh, the wind's changed. Might not be able to tell which way the wind's blowing, but I've gotten pretty good at burning stuff. That's another one of those big dang pine logs he left. Hopefully that'll burn down tonight. Alright, well, I'm going to keep sorting through this, get all the big chunks laid over here, and then I got to run and go pick up my signs for the trailer, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do the rest of today. Well, that's the nice thing about going through there and pulling out all those stumps again. You get an amazing fire. So literally just picked everything out, restacked it. That'll be burnt down in no time. I got a big old pile of roots and ashes and mud. We'll mix all that together, get us enough dirt to kind of fill in that little area right there. I'm going to jump on the dozer and see if this is slightly dry enough to maybe blade over and make it look a little bit better. If not, I'm going to head on out for today. Alright, so you can't see it, but I dropped the pipe off there. It's right there behind the machine. And I folded the graptor rake in. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the trailer and the stumper and grab the rake off the 220. Go ahead and get these attachments out of here. That way we just have the buckets left. I don't think I have room. I might have to just come back tomorrow when we have the Yanmar and grab that grapple right there. So yeah, I want to go ahead and get all the attachments out of here because I got Donnie scheduled for the end of the week to start moving all this equipment out of here. Gonna get wrapped up and get done. about got a load. Just took the strap off the rake. Robert's gonna come up here and grab that. We got the grapple rake, the 350 stumper, the grapple for the 220. So that actually only works on the newer one because it's got 3 auxiliaries. That one only has 2. Quick coupler to the thumb. The other one has one for the quick coupler, one for the thumb, and a 3rd one to run the rotate function. So let me grab the chainsaw out of the bucket and we'll get that rake off the truck and go see what Mr. Robert has worked on today.